Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded, many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you walk right past me,
Yeah. Go get on your spot, Big Ho. Big Ho, go. Get on your spot. Come on. Come on.
Okay, so everybody was going, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. And I was worried that you couldn't hear the dog, the woman talking to the dog. Real quick before we get Ryan in here, let's have a word of prayer. Sometimes 62 can be ugly, like forgetting to turn the damn, oops, you know, I'm just saying, oh, but I'm here for now. Shaking my head, y'all. It only can get better. Here he comes. Well, let me start. Ryan Matthews is here. If you have a badass dog, hard-headed dog. No, girl in the corner. I'm not talking about your boyfriend. I mean a four-legged kind. If you have ever wanted to know how people make dogs do what they want them to do without paying a fortune, then you need to meet this guy today, Ryan Matthews. He's known as the canine mentalist. Dog whisperer, if you will. We're going to find out how he got that name and why he does it. Listen, you guys, he's never been here, so we're going to put the red carpet out virtually, which means put some hearts on screen. He's coming down the hallway right now. Ryan Matthews. Gonna be one of those days. Ooh, Ryan, turn your phone like this.
All right, you got me now?
Yeah, we want to see all those pictures. Wait, will it do it?
Nah, because it goes upside down.
Oh, man.
I'll try the other way.
We wanted you to go sideways to fill up the whole box.
Yeah, it's still funky, right? It's a little too fun.
Yeah, you probably had to do it before. You know how you have to unlock that home screen. See, I do know a couple. I may not turn on the sound, but I know how to turn my phone. So, good morning. How are you? I know how to fix that. We're going to go here. There.
Good morning. I know technology. I know dogs. I don't know technology so well, so my bad.
Boy, looky here. I'm like, all that time. Thank you all in the peanut gallery out there, Robert. Look, no audio, Jan. Can't hear, Jan. Volume, please, Jan. Turn on it up. She's like, Jan was losing her patience with me. Good morning, Lori Whitney. Okay. Somebody went over. Robert went over the YouTube, and then Lori's like, unmute, Dodo. Ear emoji. The way she put an ear emoji.
Okay, I get it. Okay, then we get to the real thing. You can hear me? Doggy power. Yes, a lot of dog people in the house today. Ryan,
All right.
listen, I want you to take a moment and just kind of pour into the audience and just what's on your spirit. Give them a little bit of your origin story. 60 seconds. I'll be back. It's all you. Take it away.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. You know, I come from a heart that really wants to serve. I've been in the dog industry for 22 years, and I feel like my life's purpose is to give back to dogs and help frustrated dogs and confused dog owners better connect and better understand one another. And it's deep on my heart because dogs saved my life. As a combat veteran in the war, my dog kept me alive. But when I came home from the war, I forgot how to love, not just myself, but others. But I was able to love dogs. And for that reason, I've dedicated my life to giving back to dogs and the people around them.
Wow. So now you got me. Now you got me. You said you're okay. Let's go to prior to the military. Were you a dog guy?
I was an animal guy, but you know, the first animal that I fell in love with, we didn't have a lot of money. The first animal I fell in love with was a horse. Of course, we couldn't own one. We didn't have property. We lived in an apartment. But of all things, my mom would take me to this horse that lived in a really big yard. And I remember I was really young, like 4 or 5, and my mom would just bring me to the fence line, and that horse would always come up to us. And I could just feel the animal's soul when I would see their eyes. And that was the first time I discovered love for animals. And, you know, the thing about the dogs was my first dog, Dr. Lauren, was a military working dog trained to attack when I was 19 years old.
Oh,
That was the first dog I ever had.
that was your first dog. So the
Yeah.
horse, though, because you guys didn't have a lot of money. Well, we didn't have a lot of money either, but you were lucky. You had a horse. My first pet was a roach. Okay. I can't. Oh, if my first mom was alive and heard me say that, she'd tear me up for that. You know, we ain't had no roaches. We did not. But I knew what they were. I'm gonna tell you how. I almost said the person's name. So listen. So no dogs as a kid. Me either.
Oh, no.
Wow. So do you have a dog now?
I got the dog behind me. That's Zeus. He's a Belgian Malinois.
Zeus looked like he'll eat a leg in a minute.
He does, but you know, that dog's soft, man. He's all love. That dog's a lot of love. A little bit of spotlight. He really likes the camera, but yeah, he's a whole lot of love.
Was he the one in the video, or was that another dog?
Yeah, that was him in the video. That's
okay,
right.
Okay, cool. So listen, when you let's go back to when you were in the military. You said your dog kept you alive. Talk about that.
Yeah.
Because this is that connection, like the police dogs, and you know, it's like a capital offense to kill a dog that's in police service. He's like an officer. Is it like that in the military where he's like a military member?
Yeah, they're a soldier. In fact, this is crazy. So that the canine handler, that's what I was, doesn't disrespect the dog. They literally give the dog a rank one higher than the handler in our culture.
Oh, so you report to the dog.
That's right. I was at parade rest and saluting the dog now. Yeah, so the dogs were, you know, Belgian Malinois or German Shepherds, and full of a lot of energy, a lot of drive. But it was really something special. But yeah, you know, the dog kept me alive because we would be searching for explosives overseas. And so
where were you? Tell people where you were.
Yeah, I was in Missouli Rock back in 2005.
Now, where is that?
Mosul, Iraq.
Oh, I thought you said Missouli Rock. I was like, that sounds like a place in Georgia. But,
yeah,
you know, okay, Iraq.
Yeah.
How long were you? Thank you for your service, first of all. Thank you for that. How long were you deployed there, Ryan?
We were there for 7 months, and then my dog got injured, so we came back home, actually.
So your dog got injured, and that got you back home. So they didn't just send the dog home and send you a new one.
No, because you're certified as a team. Like you gotta, like for bombs, you gotta show a proficiency that when they hide explosives, you're going to find 9 out of 10, or no, 90, it was like 95 or 90%. You got to find 9 out of 10 times. You got to find the training aid to show that you're
That
not just stepping on stuff, blowing people up and stuff.
So wait a minute. Okay, can you walk us through it and then tell us what happened? What was your dog's name over there?
That was Zito.
Zito. And Zito got
Yeah.
injured out there sniffing for explosives?
Yeah. He didn't get blown up, but he wasn't able to work anymore. So after 7 months, we came home, and Zito could only do like Secret Service missions and stuff like that stateside. He wasn't fit to deploy no more.
How do they pick the dogs for this work? How do they know?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a really simple example. One thing that I would do to test the dog is I would grab a ball and I'm gonna throw it 10 times. And I want that dog to have the focus, drive, energy, passion to go after that ball 10 times in a row, never get distracted, not go pee, not go sniff grass. No, they need to really want to go after that ball. Now, you're wondering why?
Yeah.
Because that's showing me drive. Drive is the work ethic that I'm looking for so that the dog will stay focused on their task of finding the thing that I want them to find to go after. They want their reward once they find it. It's really that simple.
Well, Ryan, what is it within a dog that makes them so trainable? Unlike I mean, come on now, they've been winning America's Got Talent. $1 million acts, in Vegas, right? Doing choreography and all kinds of stuff. What is it within a dog that makes them, what is that thing that makes them so teachable?
Your answer is way deeper than what I think most people will acknowledge or know. And I think there's a part of God that lives in dogs, like angels on earth, if you will. I mean, there's a reason that dog is spelled the way that it is. And if you spell it backwards, it spells something real special, right? And so I really do feel like they're really here to serve us. Now, I don't think that that's fair. I feel we got to do more by them and serve them as well on a whole higher level, rather than just, taking them for a walk and giving them kibble. I think we could show up in a lot better and deeper way for our dogs, because their souls are deep and they're often not seen. Again, people see dogs at a surface level. But so, yeah, I think they operate from a sixth sense. They operate from a level of intuition and a higher power, if you will. And so I think that that's part of the magic that we witness within dogs. Dr. Lauren, I did a TEDx talk back in 2019, and it was let's treat each other more like dogs.
Yeah, I saw that.
And okay.
Yeah.
And, I'm talking about how we show up a certain way with our dog, and the dog's enthusiastic. The dog doesn't take things personally. The dog is present and in the now. And I think the dog's right there teaching us life lessons, and it's just, are we ready to see it?
So true. So many stories about dogs waking families up with fire or an intruder or something, and they will put themselves in front of a bullet. It's just amazing. And you're right about their souls. Because I'm always amazed when I watch like really big dogs with little bitty babies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get that big old horse away from that baby. And then you see no matter, and little kids don't know them toddlers, they hit it all in the faces up, and the dog just takes it, just loves up on them. It's just amazing. So do you believe the old adage that dog is man's best friend?
I'd say it's mankind's best friend.
Mankind's best. You've done this before. You got all those little. That's good.
No,
Good.
I just like to challenge things that I hear for a higher good.
That's right. Okay, here's something I want to ask you. Back in the day, especially in African American world, back in the day, you better not ask to have a dog in the house. That's what. Well, I'll just keep real. That's what white people did. We're like, right? Because I had a friend, Tom Fisher. He let his dog drink right out of his cereal bowl. Right. And then we say, do it. do it. And then he go right starting and we're like, ew, you nasty, right? When they're dog, but I've even been to dinner at somebody's house and their poodle sat at the end of the table with a bib on, eating out the plate and everything while we were eating.
Mm-hmm.
You seen that too?
Not that extreme, but I believe it because of the stuff I see.
Right. So let me ask you, so people bring their dogs to you, newly trained, or what about this? Dogs that have been traumatized. Oh, Andrea, did you plant that seed in my head? Because there's the word traumatized. What about, like rescue dogs and stuff like that? Breaks my heart. When somebody says she's a little nervous, she's a little skittish because she was treated badly and da-da-da-da.
Yep.
What in the world?
Yeah. And that's a topic that I love talking about, but you know what? I tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
Go ahead.
And here's the interesting thing about trauma, because all the examples you're talking about with the dog and the bib and the pacifier and everything else, we are humanizing the dog. And after working over 5,000 dogs and being in people's homes and seeing dynamics, what I discovered is the dogs are filling a void in the people's life. And the people will project their stuff onto the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we really, now you don't hear about this in my industry, but if you really love that being like you say you do, then you will think for the higher good and do the right thing, even though sometimes it's uncomfortable. And what I'm talking about, because I've been through trauma, I've been through PTSD multiple ways, had the cancer, had the heart attack, all by the time I was 30, right? Like I know about that stuff. But here's the thing. If we stay in that poor baby trauma state, there's no growth. One of my healers, Doc Mike, he says the only way through it is through it.
Yes.
So if we just say, this is my rescue, we're labeling them. Like, how often does that happen within our society? We want to label people and then we limit them. And I don't like to think that way. So instead I say, look, I'm going to show up as the leader. And there's a special dynamic in that. You got to be fair. You got to be reliable. And you got to be the visionary and say, I know where we're taking this. And you got to have the right energy. Okay, so when I see a dog that's traumatized, you know what I say? I say, here's opportunity for growth. Because when I came home from the war, Dr. Lauren, I couldn't step on a sewer cover. I thought it would blow up.
Oh.
I had to retrain my brain because in the war, you don't step on those. Those things could blow up. But your mind thinks that's going to happen here. I had to retrain myself, that trauma brain, that I could step on them. And it took time. No different than a dog that doesn't want to walk over it, because some are like that. So again, as a leader with the right energy and you guide them, they can overcome the trauma. But we meet them in the trauma state and we just feed them all from our heart. And that's not going to fix it.
I want to ask you something. Thank you for that, Ryan. Man, you've made me. We're gonna go back to some of your origin story too before we get out of here today, if that's okay. I mean, like the cancer, the heart attack, because all of this plays into who you are today. But I want to kind of pivot a little and go over to. I've been dying to ask this question because my husband and I, we try not to be judgy. Okay. But sometimes when we're traveling and we see people with service dogs.
Okay. Oh,
and
come on.
You hear them talking and stuff, and da-da-da-da. I even heard like, girl, this is the best scam I ever pulled. Man. Okay. Yeah. So is that I don't know how to look at it. It's the poor thing because the dog, nobody can go up and pet it. You can't touch the service dog. You put it on, they got all these. Do you think that is like what's that called? Those servants. What's that word, y'all? Word.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
Is that what you do? How do you look at service dogs?
Well, hold on. You talked about something huge that's a show in and of itself. Ooh. Is people walk around with these fake service animals because they want public access and they want the free ride on the plane with their dog. But they
Yeah.
ruin it. They're ruining it. It's selfish. They're ruining it for the people that really need it. That's the problem.
See, that's what I was trying to get at, but I didn't want to seem judgy because how do I know? But you just know.
Yeah, let's talk. So I call them out. I'll be like real loud. And I mad dog them like I'm, back in the hood or something. I'll be like looking at them all crazy because I'm like, they pull on the leash. They're not in tune with the owner. They're sniffing around. At the end of the leash, you can tell it's not real because
So
the
you can
service.
tell by the way the dog.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
it?
always
You
the
can
dog.
tell.
Yeah, when I go to people's houses or they, tell me the thing about the dog, I don't really, this sounds bad, but I don't really need to listen to what the people say because the dog will tell me everything. Because the people just tell you what they want you to hear. The dog will show me everything through their actions.
So can you tell when a dog is being mistreated?
Yeah, you can, like, if you was to go to pet the dog overhand and they go like this. Now, it doesn't mean it's the owner. Maybe
Right.
it was the previous thing. So
Right.
but for me, again, I don't like that the dog's mind went there. And because of my love and thinking bigger picture, I'll say, no, now we have something we're going to work on. And so what I would do is I'm going to reverse the thinking of when my hand comes like this, you're going to get a reward. You get nothing but love. Okay. But for people that have those kind of dogs, just a pro tip would be come open-handed on underhand on the chest rather than this, and let them start to feel comfortable with that hand coming low onto their chest, and they'll
Okay.
feel better with that.
So that's even when you're like out and you go, ooh. I love because I always hear kids ask, kids are so smart. Can I pet it? Can I pet it? Can I pet her? And because they're just drawn to them. So that's a great thing to know. I want to ask you this. When someone is thinking about getting a dog trained, are all dog training opportunities the same? I know they're not, but I mean, what's the best? Well, yeah, I have a feeling you had something to say about that. So take us through some of the tips of the steps that a person should follow in the vetting process for the right fit.
Okay, the vetting process. Now, before I get into the vetting process, I just want to invite you all into the industry, because there's something that we talk about in the industry, and it's that there's two things that dog trainers agree upon. It's that the third one doesn't know a thing. So that's how my industry is. So I just want to say this, that for the public, it must be very frustrating because you read something on one thing online and then you read something that's the absolute opposite, bashing the other guys. Okay. So that must feel really, really frustrating. I just want to say that. But some vetting tips I would ask a trainer if we're interviewing them. I'd say, how long have you been professionally training dogs? You got to say it that way, because you say how long you've been training dogs, they're going to tell you my whole life. And that's because they had 2 German Shepherds growing up. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
So you want to say, how long have you professionally been training a dog? Then you want to say, are you willing to come to my house and do a demonstration with my dog? Any trainer that's the real deal will be happy to work with any dog on the spot. And they'll just say, let me just show you what I do.
Any dog.
Oh, yeah, that's how I roll. Yeah, any dog.
Okay. No, well, only reason I say it like that, Ryan, is because when I was looking for some of the that clip I had that nobody got to hear, I saw a thing that said the top 5 most disobedient dogs. So are certain breeds tougher to train than others?
Ooh. Yeah, I got a 5 for you. I got the Dachshund, I got the Siberian Husky, I got the Bull Terrier.
That was one of them.
Yeah, those are different. Shiba Inu, that's like a cat. That's a difficult dog to train too.
Like a cat. That one would look like.
Well, they're like, you're like, sit. They're like, why should I? You're like, come here. They're like, no, I'm good over here. It's like, they don't care what you want. They're like, I'm just doing me.
Right. Are there some dogs that should not be domesticated?
Ooh.
You know which one I'm talking about. Well, I mean, because it gets such a bad rep.
No one's ever asked me that question. I was just with a bully breed last night, actually, not mine. And that dog was full of love. And I feel like certain breeds get a bad reputation because of humans. And what I mean is,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
some people with bad intentions are drawn towards dominant breeds. And then the media, because it's provocative, it's for ratings, it's drama, they're gonna exploit what the dogs are doing. Okay, so people are also breeding dogs for the wrong reasons, right?
Yes.
So then you put in the wrong genes in the dog, and then they're making more of that. And so you have bad breeding. You got the media that's hyping up the drama and putting a spotlight on the dog. But like, where's the good stories of the same breed doing good stuff? Because they are. Dogs are like people, Dr. Lauren, in that you got introverted, you got extroverted, you got grumpy, you
Yeah.
got happy-go-lucky. It's really very similar, but we assume that they're all the same, but they're not. And
No.
so again, we got to honor that being that's in front of us.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Thank you for that, Ryan. I want to ask you this a little. um, I'm just curious because before my cats, Ethel and Lucy, I had never had my own pet ever because I was in the system. So it was everybody else's pets at the houses that we would be living in for whatever amount of time. And so I always wondered if you get a puppy or you get a dog, how do people know what food is good food?
Oh, geez. Well, it's kind of like us and what we eat, right? If you're going to be eating processed foods, that's going to create inflammation and all kinds of other stuff, and it's not going to be good for you, right? uh, I say like whole food for a dog is good, and ultimately, it's not so appealing for people to think of it, but like raw food is going to be the best for a dog. Again, it's not a human; it's a dog, so
It's a dog.
it's
Some people
it's a
forget
little
that.
bit different. Hmm.
Some people forget that. Yes, yes, yes. So back in the day, because we did have a dog when I was growing up, but it wasn't mine. So, and the reason I didn't bond with it is because they got the dog and they just chained it up outside.
Oh yeah,
It didn't, no one walked it. It was just chained
yep,
back behind the garage. I was like, why do we even have that dog?
yeah.
Wha-
Maybe for security,
Okay.
right? Because it's gonna bark if people come
Oh,
to the house
maybe,
or whatever.
maybe it was a Dalmatian. And I don't
Oh,
think I've
really?
ever seen one in real life since then.
You don't see very many of them. They can be a little neurotic, though. I've trained a few of them.
Yeah, that's why she ended up getting rid of her. And then we went to a Scottish Terrier, Inky.
Okay.
So from a dog this big to a dog this big, right? But Inky got fat, and that's another thing. Um, Let me ask you about this: pet insurance.
Okay.
Do you know anything about that?
Oh yeah. Care
Is that
credit. Oh
is
yeah.
that something you should get? If you're say you're getting a puppy, you're starting a family, you got the little babies, and you want to give them should you get pet insurance?
I mean, I can't say whether people should get it or not, but I can tell you this. Most dogs are going to live 12, 15 years. And in all those years, what's the likelihood that stuff's going to happen? It's stuff you never know, you don't expect. So given that maybe, yeah, it's worth it. I could tell you every client that I know that has it is always really happy they have it and they end up using it at some point.
See, okay, good. Thank you. Responsible. Be responsible. So when back to the training piece, what is your favorite breed of dog to train and why?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. And it's more of the soul for me. And so I don't see, just like with people, like I don't see breed, I don't see color, I see the soul, I see what's in front of me as the essence of the being. So that's how it is for me. It don't matter if it's a big dog, a little dog, it doesn't matter. It's like, how does that being show up in the world? What do I see in their eyes? What do I feel in their presence? And that makes me excited to work with them, or maybe not. Like some dogs, I say this, I love them all, but I don't like them all. I can tell
Mm.
you that, just to be honest. It's like that, like a Shiba Inu. Generally speaking, I'm probably not gonna like him. I'm gonna have a love for it, but I'm not gonna like it because we don't vibe.
So if you just see
Generally.
one walking down the street, they look at you and you can tell they mean mugging you.
Yeah.
Look at that. You want some of this? Come on over
Yeah.
here. Come on, Cletus. I want to see you do it. Right. I ain't challenging no dog. First of all, I'm gonna run. What about I'm wondering if I should ask this now or wait. I'll wait. I'm gonna do a fun question. You guys can get in on this one too. Drop it in the comment section. So, because I got two. What are your top 2 favorite ever favorite dog names?
Ooh.
I know, right? Wait till you hear mine.
Okay. No, okay, this is like really corny, but it's just funny. This guy, this older guy, I had a dog training business in Colorado for a little bit, and he called his dog DOG. And it was just it's so dumb, but it was
That's on
funny.
my list. DOG.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
guy
yeah.
I knew who did it, it was DOG.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was the coolest name ever.
And then another cool one was I live by the beach, and I live by the dog beach as well. And this one person had a dog named Shark. So they'd be like, Shark, Shark.
And then people come running out of the water. Oh, that's funny.
That one was good too. That,
That was
was
a good
good
one.
too.
That was a good one. Yeah, I can't believe you said DOG.
Yeah.
I think that's so clever. And then one of my favorite, because I love this dog too. My best friend Kevin had a dog named Prophet.
Okay.
And I just
Yeah.
loved him. He was so wise. He just was. He would look at you. I could swear I could hear him talking. I swear I could hear him talking.
Yeah, I like that one too. Woo.
Yeah, Prophet. So here's the question I was trying to remember. So let's say, because I saw in your profile that you're single.
I am, yeah.
Okay, so let's say the right person came along and everything was perfect. And then they look at you and say, oh, but I must tell you, I'm allergic to dogs. Deal breaker?
I mean, don't they take pills? Isn't there pills for that?
Okay, it's like, well, you better go get a shot. We better stock up on EpiPens because if you're going to be with me. So you wouldn't walk away from the dog training if you met that person of your dreams and they were like, I don't feel dogs. I'm a cat person. I'm a bird person. I'm a fish person. If they said
no, I don't
never ever dogs.
I don't trust people that are only cat people. I'm like, if you don't know, if you're not open to dogs a little bit, I don't know. I can trust you. But I'll tell you what, how intentional I am, because I got everything I want in life, Dr. Lauren, everything I want except for my person yet. And so I was like, what changes can I make that would be more aligned with calling in my person? And I actually kicked my dog out of the bed. It sounds bad, kicked out. My dog no longer sleeps in bed with me. He doesn't sleep in bed because
you had the nerve. You had the nerve to go when I said the dog was sitting in the chair at the end of the table and yours is sleeping in the bed. See, that's the thing.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that dog off my bed on my good sheets. Right. That's well. You kicked your dog out, but did your dog listen?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Like here, like it's just I do whatever I need to do for him not to do it. So like if I need to put a leash on him, he's gonna it's non-negotiable, and that's what leaders do, right? Like a reliable, consistent leader is like, this is what you got to do. This isn't like I'm not negotiating, and it's just the same way that I think a lot of people do in the healthy dynamic with kids. It's like, no, you got to listen to me. I'm guiding you through life. I know more about life. Of course, I honor the animal. Like my dog and I still cuddle and all that stuff. We still have all that. But here's the thing, that when people allow dogs to sleep in bed, the dog starts to think they're equal, sometimes higher on the hierarchy than the person. So if a dog's aggressive, here's a pro tip. If the dog's aggressive, that dog should not be in the bed.
Should not be in
at
the
all.
bed.
No. Because it already thinks it's bigger than you.
Do you think when a person is, I think it was fashionable for a while, it might still be, almost like when Brad and Jolie, like what started adopting all those kids from like Africa and stuff. Everybody started
Oh yeah.
adopting kids, going and getting rescue dogs. Now, I don't think just any person should just go get a rescue dog because it's fashionable. It's a rescue.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because don't you, that's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I was in foster care and there were kids who were called hard to place because of the
Wow.
level of trauma that they had experienced. And it took
Wow.
special foster parents to be able to deal with a kid who's gone through some horrible trauma.
Mm.
How do you feel that connects or not with when people go to get a rescue or the people that are giving the rescues out? I hear it's very stringent, the criteria to get approved for a rescue. Is that true out where you're at?
Yeah, most places they're pretty strict. Like they'll come do a walkthrough of the house and all this kind of stuff. And rightfully so, because people are returning dogs and this kind of stuff. And that's why I think it's important for us to be thinking of everything that's going to be required when we get a dog, rather than just think about how we're going to get to go for walks and cuddle by the fireplace or whatever that
Yeah.
looks like. We've got to think beyond that. And sometimes people don't know how to train their dog and they return it back to a shelter. And that really broke my heart as I continued to discover that. So here's what I'm doing as some of the
Rehoming.
doctor. Yeah, or they return it to the shelter.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
I
even.
said that because that happens to kids too. They get
Mm,
adopted and then they get returned. I
mhm.
know a kid
Oh,
was returned 9 times. Go ahead.
oh man.
Yeah.
Nah, so that part really broke my heart, because often with dogs, if they keep getting uh, returned back to the shelter,
Sure.
eventually they euthanize them. So what I'm creating is free dog training for every rescue dog.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Really? So who
that's
called
right.
you? The people getting the rescue, or does the rescue place say, "Hey, if you here's a guy, Ryan Matthews, call him to help train this rescue dog."
Yeah, well, I won't be able to do it with millions of people because I'm only one. So what I created is an AI that's all my education. It's not an open source. It's only my knowledge in the AI, and we're uploading like so much content in it as we speak.
That's
And so
awesome.
it's essentially they got access to me 365 24/7. And again, some people can't afford my in-person rate, but here is a way I can still serve, I can still help dogs and still help their owners. Again, cost is no longer an excuse to not get the support and get answers to your questions right there on the spot.
Absolutely. I think that's awesome that you do. That's beautiful. That's really thank you for that service.
Yeah.
Really. Thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is? I mean, this is your life.
It is, yeah.
It is your life. What do you think it is, Ryan, that made this matter so much to you?
Mm.
You know what I mean? Some people, I'm going to be a lawyer, or I'm going to be a banker, or I'm going to be a housewife, or whatever that choice is. What do you think it was that was so
Mhm.
powerful to draw you to this work? Because it's clearly your passion.
It is, yeah. I get all excited about it. My speech tone even changes. It's actually now I understand it, but when I got into it, I didn't understand it. Because I got into pet dog training because I was in a horrific ATV accident with an ex-girlfriend, and she was on the back of it, and I drove it over a mountain cliff, and the ATV crushed her body, and
Oh,
she needed to get a flight for life and almost died. I rolled down the mountain and woke up in a stream choking water, and I essentially needed, or not needed, I wanted to move to Colorado to help her in her recovery, because we lived in different states. I lived in Cali, she was in Colorado.
okay.
And I didn't know what I would do for work when I was out there. And I was like, well, you did the dog thing in the army. And so I would call around other dog trainers and see if I could shadow them. And one was so kind, and she said, yeah. And I would shadow, and then I would start offering feedback while I was with, and she really liked it. Then she started to say, "Hey, can you go and work with the aggressive dogs and a little bit my client?" And I said, "Sure," and she would pay me. And then I was like, starting to see, like, man, I think I know some stuff here. I got a little value I could bring. Then
Yeah.
I bought into a franchise, and I made 10,000 my first month buying into the pet dog training franchise. I just
Wow.
like, yeah, I was just, and it's only gone up from there. Like I've been very blessed, you know. So yeah, it was kind of, Dr. Lauren, it's kind of like I didn't know what to do, but I think something higher than myself was really guiding it all. And now I can tell you that I can channel, right? Higher power can talk to
See?
me. I get messages about the dog. Sometimes I get message about the dog, about the person. Okay. And so now I'm really getting, and the more I've opened myself up, the more I've been able to do that. And so it's not this cookie cutter Petco sit down kind of dog training. I don't do none of that stuff. This is like your life may change through the dog training, because I can tell a whole lot through, again, how the people are with the dog and what the dog will tell me.
Mm. Hey, have you ever? That's really powerful. I just gotta say, that's really powerful. So Bob Barker was known for always closing out the prices right with control the pet population, have your pet spayed or neutered. Still a good idea?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of debate out there. I would just say wait till your dog is fully grown, so all the hormones and everything can grow as it should before you spay or neuter. But again, I'm not a veterinarian. There's different perspectives on that. But that's the one that I believe in the most, to set the animal up for a long, healthy life.
Thank you for that. Have you ever, do you run into owners whose dogs look like them? You ever see those
Oh
pictures?
yeah, all the time.
What
All
is
the
that?
time.
Do you think they do that on purpose? I gotta find it. I don't care what breed it is. It's just gotta look like me. I mean, because
No, I think it's something in the subconscious mind that like is part of the selection process because it feels relatable, or maybe they see something in themselves in that other being, or
in that
maybe
other
they see
breed,
some of who and how they want to be that they aren't yet within
I
that
bet.
other being.
I bet I know a question you hate to answer. You
No,
would
come
avoid
on,
it. Here it
give it to
is.
me.
So, Ryan, if I were to go find a dog that looked like me, what breed would it be?
Oh, oh,
Right?
that's a
Somebody
good
gonna say the Bill Cosby dog.
one.
Because I get that a lot.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
I've never heard that one.
Here's a question. I don't know if you've been asked this, but I'm curious. I'm serious too. I want to know. In all your dog training years, which are they still human years or are they dog training
Oh,
years?
I don't want to say dog years. Let's just say 22 human years.
Okay, 22 human years. How many bites have you endured?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really counted
See?
actually. Maybe
That many?
8-ish.
You've been bitten 8 times?
Oh yeah, like it's gonna happen if you risky enough. I'm not as risky as I used to be, but I still like it. It's kind of part of the thrill. But no, you're gonna get bit. If you're thinking about getting a dog training, number one, I train people to become trainers and open up their own location.
Oh.
But you're gonna get bit. You're gonna get bit.
So just know it. It just comes with the territory. It makes sense. I'm just like, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm done. I've never been bitten
Yeah.
by a dog, thank God. But back to the dog years. How do they know? Because like we have cats, and my husband said last week, he goes, Ethel and Lucy on their next birthday, honey, they're going to be older than you. And I'm like, how does somebody know how many years? So how many is dog years? Is that a real thing?
I mean, a little bit. I think it's because like a typical dog will live like what, 12 years. So if you do 12 times 7, that's like, okay, that's a bit of a life expectancy of the average person ish.
Dog years. I wonder who came up with that for the first time. And then, well, okay. And last question about, and this is just a trivia thing. You may know, you may not. Are there any dog breeds that you know of that are like endangered?
Ooh,
Like, what's the rarest dog? Or would you
wow.
say most rare? I know, right? Bathrobe Moments, you get
No,
good questions.
I love your questions. You ask stuff I've never been asked in
That's
22
that
years.
ADHD
Oh
at
my
work.
God.
Yeah.
I could tell you I don't know, but I will as soon as we're done with this this interview, I don't know what the rarest dog is. I
One
don't
that's,
know.
you know what I'm
I would
saying?
imagine I'm thinking it's like somewhere from Asia or Russia. I think I've seen something about it, but I didn't pay attention to what it was called. I think it's a dog from Asia or Russia, but I'm gonna look it up.
Okay, actually, here's the last question because I thought of what about these hybrids? Like, remember when something doodle when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
start
Golden
mixing them
Doodle,
all?
Golden Doodle, Labradoodle,
Yeah,
Maltipoo,
how do
Morky,
you
Sporky, Jorky, all that. Man, that's just a mutt.
right?
It's just a mutt. And they're like, but now you say it's designer, so now we can charge you what we want to charge. I gotta tell the people this, and I don't care if it's the wrong thing to do by my industry. There's a lot of people that are taking advantage of the public that are interested in having a dog, wanting a service animal, all this, the pet stores selling you harnesses that's just going to train your dog to pull you and maybe knock you over. Just, I'm not saying they got it out for you, but a lot of places are thinking profit. And I'm just saying we got to be our own advocate. We got to educate ourselves. We really got to do that. And
Yeah, we do.
again, I'm always here. Connect with me online. I'm happy to share. So people got the real deal information. I don't hold nothing back. It all comes from love, passion, and I'm only gonna give them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear, because it's the
There
right
you
thing to do.
go. That's it right there. That's it right there. Man, what an interesting time we've had here today. You guys, now this scrolling along the bottom of the screen, beacons.ai, that's like a link tree. You're going to go in there and find all of Ryan's connectors in there. But if you want to just go directly to the site, there it is, worldofdogtraining.com. You'll see that video we shared earlier and a whole bunch of other great information, as well as opportunity for you and the people in your world that love their dogs. So big plans for Thanksgiving this year. Where are you going to be?
No, I'll be with family. I'm going to keep it low key. I'm getting ready to go to Bali in Thailand on Sunday. And so I'm getting ready for that trip. I usually pack last minute, but I'm going to try to do it ahead of time.
Why are you going there?
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit of business, a little bit of pleasure, but I'm always looking at doing business anywhere I go.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, safe travels, Godspeed. You listen, come back anytime you want to. Reach out, we'll get your book. I think this was one of the most interesting shows we've had in a long time. Not to take anything from anyone else, but this was quite informative and it was edutainment. So I want to thank you, Ryan Matthews, for all you do, your service to this country, and what you do to help people be and do better with their dogs. I just thank you. I think it's great. I
appreciate you having me. You're fun, and I love the questions you ask. This stuff I've never been asked before. So I appreciate you, Dr. Lawrence.
Yay! Thank you for that. Thank you. I received that. Listen, all of you, get out of here and go find a higher piece of yourself. It takes one E and one R. And you're taking everything you already are to a new level. Great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, and my personal favorite, kind to kinder. Now listen, tomorrow is a replay because we're heading out on the road. And those of you who are traveling, please be safe, be cognizant, watch the road. Don't get on your phone. Get there safely, come home safely, and that's what we're looking for. Listen, there's a replay tomorrow. There's a replay on Friday, but I am recording tomorrow morning Thanksgiving Day's show. Wait till you see who it is. Watch your phones. Tune in. Mark your calendar to tune into Bathrobe Moments Thanksgiving morning, 8 a.m. Central. You're going to be shocked at what you find that day. Listen, get out of here. Don't let my screen door slam on the way out. And remember, Dr. Lauren tells you each and every day, and I still mean it. I absolutely love you. And there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Have a great day. See you. Bye, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Ryan. Thank you. Safe travels, my man. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. tomorrow.